This video is about managing your transactions in Topshare. That is, managing your recording of the transactions within the Topshare program. And we're going to be looking at these four buttons. These are the navigation buttons. And remember that if you pause the mouse over one of these, some help text pops up to tell you what it's all about. And so we'll start with the first one, which is purchases. So when you click on the purchases button, you see a record of the purchases for the selected portfolio, and if you change the portfolio, then the purchase table is updated. This goes right back to the beginning. You see it includes a tick box that shows whether or not the stock is currently held. So the older ones have been sold off in this case, the newer ones are still there. Having selected it, found a stock and selected it, you can either edit or delete it. So if we select one of these, and then click edit, it brings up an editor for that record. And if we select one and then click on delete, you get warned, and you want to be careful about deleting purchases, because if there are other transactions against that stock later on, they'll be deleted as well. So within this display, there's a number of ways of making it a bit easier to find the record. You can change the sorting so that, for example, it's just sorted entirely by ASX, or you can sort by any other field. Another thing you can do, it's quite useful in this and lots of other screens within Topshare, is to drag one of the column headers up into this grey box above. When you do that, the whole display is collapsed by that field, so that you can quickly locate an ASX, and having done that, you can expand it to see the records belonging to that ASX, and you can quickly select one and then move on. Looking back now to the main purchases display, the final thing you can do is click new, and that gets you into the screen for recording a new purchase. And actually that's functionally the same as clicking buy back on this home screen. So there's two different ways you can get into doing that. Okay, now let's have a look at sales, the sales transactions. This is similar. You've got a record for each of the sales in the currently selected portfolio, going right back to the beginning. You can select one of these, and then you've got the options of editing it or deleting it. This is the edit screen, for standard edit screen for disposals. You can delete it, and we'll do that, accept that on this one. We'll delete that sale of SUN, and you can see firstly that the transaction gets logged in the overall log that you can see on that information screen. And also, if we now go back to have a look at the home screen, you'll see that that Sun parcel is now still in the holdings because we deleted its disposal. Okay, back in the disposal screen, if you clicked on new, then you could enter a new sale, but that is functionally exactly the same as from this home screen recording a sell of that stock. So there's two different ways of recording a sale. Okay, now let's have a look at dividends. Pretty familiar by now. We've got a list of all the dividends that have been recorded for this holding. We can collapse that, find those for a particular stock. We can select one of those, edit it, or delete it. One new option here is multi. This is very useful. We're not going to talk about it in this session. It needs a video on its own, but it's for the situation where trusts will make several payments during the year and then give you a statement at the end of the year that tells you what categories those are in. You can also click new from here, and once again that's a duplication of the right click option from the home screen, where you can enter a new dividend from here with a right click. final option is other transactions. This is similar but different. Here you've got to first select the transaction type that you're dealing with, and you've got 5 options here. So the first one is change ASX, and that's for the situation where you've got a straightforward name change without any change in the number of shares. So it's if just a company changes its ASX code, perhaps its name as well, or also if you're converting options or instalment receipts, perhaps with the addition of a bit of extra capital. Second option is split, consolidate and capital return, and any of those transactions, either alone or in combination, can be entered there. Next option is merge demerge, and this is what you go to if you've got any of those complicated corporate transactions, like a spin-off from one company to another, merge between 2 companies, or any combination of those things. Transfer of HIN is if you want to record a transfer of your holdings from one CHESS sponsor into another, or perhaps from issuer sponsored into CHESS or the other way. And finally, bonus issue. This is not really used very commonly these days, but if you do need to record bonus issues, this is the place to come. So that's it for this video. I hope you found it useful.